BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, ho ho, and indeed a ho ho ho. Welcome to episode 470 of BRB UK. It's nearly the festive season. Well, it is the festive season, but peak festiveness is nearly upon us. And that means it's time for us to talk to you about the things we really liked this year. And also look back on the things we were looking forward to in a little bit of schadenfreude as we just tick off all the things that didn't end up getting released, which is usually how these things go. So anyway, I'm Dan. I'm one of your hosts. I'm joined as ever by Coleman.
Hi.
And the other one, Tim.
Hello. Merry Christmas, I guess.
Christmas, chaps.
Although, yeah.
Done your Christmas shopping yet? I haven't.
No.
Well, I mean, as it's Christmas Eve today,
we hope
I still haven't.
Would have done all our Christmas shopping by now in the future.
Yes. Note to future Dan: do presents. So when I listen back to this on Christmas Eve, I know I still have to get presents.
Just to show off how incredibly nerdy I am with this, I finished my Christmas shopping in October.
Wow.
And had it all wrapped up and ready to go.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a little sad. It's a little sad, Coleman, I'm not going to lie.
It's all under the tree already.
Really?
Yeah.
How long has your tree been up since, what, like July?
Yeah, the tree doesn't go down. I love Christmas.
And how many days out of the past 180 have you eaten Christmas dinner? Are you one of these people who's just like, I want it to be Christmas every day?
Wish it could be Christmas.
So I shall eat sprouts.
Actually, every day.
Every day. Yeah.
That's why you've been
Too
wearing
many
that
sins
hat
at a
all
Christmas
year.
dinner. I can't have that every day.
He has been wearing, yeah.
Yeah, for audio listeners, I'm wearing a Christmas hat as is tradition now, and my scalp is itching like mad.
Santa Coleman.
Look, it's made with the finest polyester that China has to offer. That's why I'm not wearing a Christmas jumper, because it actually brings me out in hives.
I'm pretty sure it's made of fiberglass.
I have my Christmas jumper with me, but it's too hot in my house to wear a jumper at the moment, so no. Sorry.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
Because we all live in the Bahamas.
Yes, Tim lives in the Bahamas, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
Chaps, we need to look back on 2021 for
Gonna go
starters.
back in time.
Don't recommend
and have a look
it,
at the
to be
things
honest.
we were looking forward to. And on my list, one of these wasn't released. One of them I didn't actually play beyond the demo, and the other one I enjoy quite a lot.
Good.
Okay.
And Tim, two of yours didn't show up, and the other one was rubbish.
I think I remember qualifying both of them with "we'll see" kind of thing. I thought Gran Turismo would be
and
out
Coleman, I
this
think
year,
only.
but...
Yeah, maybe someone's coming. Anyway, well, we shall crank on through the stuff we look back on.
Yeah.
So I was looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West.
Okay.
Ooh, how was it?
I'm still looking forward to Horizon Forbidden West. It is the game that keeps on giving, the gift that keeps on giving. It's giving me another year of hope. That's how nice they are to me at Guerrilla Games. They're like, do you know what, Dan? You enjoyed looking forward to this so much. We're going to let you look forward to it for next year as well. So, yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a theme going through some of these that is a lot of delays have happened this year, even more so than in regular years. I think you can see why, development has been difficult during COVID conditions and stuff like that. So you can understand the delays a little bit more this time, but there has been a bumper amount of delays, but that means that we've got a really good 2022 to look forward to as well, with lots of good games coming as well. So, and Horizon Forbidden West,
some of the things I'm looking forward to are deeply. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about stuff we're going to be looking forward to in another show.
Yes,
but I'm just personally glad. I mean, what the other good thing about Horizon Forbidden West being delayed again is that it actually gives me a moderately outside chance of finally being able to get a PlayStation 5 rather than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, in anticipation for the game, I finally played through Horizon Zero Dawn.
Great game.
Oh, we've pushed it back to, what is it, February now? April,
I think.
April, okay.
I
thought it was February.
I can't
It's
remember.
late. I'm still able to look forward to it. That's all I care about. Let's just, glass half full.
What was the other game you were looking forward to, Dan?
Well, should I do the one that I actually only played the demo of and it slightly put me off?
Yes.
That was Monster Hunter Rise.
Right.
Well, all reports, seems to be a good game.
Yes.
It is a good game, but perhaps
one you couldn't be bothered
I
to
just
play.
think they... well, I realise what an absolute pain in the arse it is to learn a new Monster Hunter game. Is part one. And I think, had it been me 10 years ago, I probably would have put in the time. But now I have such little time to play, get my teeth into any game, that I was like, do you know what? I can't actually be arsed with this. It looks like a really nice distillation of Monster Hunter Horizon. Please do tell me if I'm missing out in the comments. But I just found the most recent Monster Hunter, the kind of the big tentpole release, Monster Hunter World, just so difficult to get my head round. And I was like, do you know what? I do enough admin and busy work at work and Destiny. Do I really need more busy work and work aside from work and Destiny?
I don't know, but I'm
don't.
guessing you have less palicos at work, though.
No, well, I've been working at home, so my cat's been here anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I've been living the Monster Hunter dream, is what I've been
Don't
doing.
even need a Monster Hunter.
Yeah, and he's surprisingly good at like cooking omelettes and stuff, which is pretty amazing.
Just fur in everything.
Yeah, it's lovely. Extra protein.
Yeah, I had the same as you. I wasn't so looking forward to it when you put it down as your one to watch for the following year. But then when it was close to coming out and they put a demo, I was like, oh, I like me a bit of Monster Hunter. I like playing stuff on the handheld, on the Switch. Let's get into this. And then just got really bored playing the demo, so couldn't really be bothered to go for the full game. But by all accounts, people that like Monster Hunter seem to like this version of Monster Hunter. So,
And I don't know, because I tend to play my Switch in handheld mode as well. And I just felt it was asking a little bit too much of the Switch. I could feel it, well, obviously not literally feel it creaking under the pressure, but it didn't feel like a fluid gameplay experience to me. And, don't get me wrong, I think it's amazing what they're managing to squeeze out the Switch, not only in this game, but other games that have come out in it. Look at anything that runs on the id Tech engine as a shining example of the ridiculous power they're eking out of the Switch. But in this case, I don't know, the balance didn't quite sit right with me, that was all.
what was your last game?
Well, it comes no surprise that I like Vroom Vroom cars, and one of the best Vroom Vroom cars game to come out this year due to come out this year, which actually did, was Forza Horizon 5. I just thought it was going to be a fiesta time of super fun, and guess what? It was a fiesta time of super fun. Not without its problems, but, it was a game that I was really looking forward to, and was worth looking forward to, it turns out.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about it more momentarily, but I think it's safe to say at one point this could have been all of our game of the years if we didn't try space our picks out a bit for variety.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's a very good game. Tim, what were your 3 picks for the ones to watch in 2021?
Right, so, I picked Gran Turismo 7, and, I was a bit more hopeful that would come out this year. I thought it would. But I don't think again, is that February this year? I don't think it's too far off. It's early in 2022, I believe. I'm not sure. Have they definitely...
I'm not 100%.
I'm not sure
if I have this right, at the time we were recording the episode, your first 2 picks had no release date, and you put them down as your ones to watch in 2021.
Still watching them.
I think... Yep.
No, anyway. But they were definitely games I was looking forward to at that point, basically. And most looking forward to. But Gran Turismo 7 isn't here, but I don't think it's too far away now, so that should be on the horizon. And then, God of War Ragnarok was my other pick, basically.
How'd that work out for you?
Yeah. That was probably hopeful, but it's the sequel to one of my favourite games ever. Of course, I'm going to be looking forward to it. Of course, I'm going to be anticipating it. I'm not surprised that it takes a year. I wouldn't be entirely surprised if it gets delayed from next year, but we'll see. Yeah. I won't make too many excuses for it because it's a game I'm really, really looking forward to. So, I will hold off until next year for that one, hopefully, but we'll see how that goes as well. And, the other one I was looking forward to, or very interested to see, we'll come back to this later in the show, possibly, but Outriders was my one I was looking forward to as well. I very much enjoyed that game. I think I would have enjoyed it more had I found more people to play more of it with. Not entirely having a go at you there, Coleman, but
we played a game.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, look, I've tried to get through the opening mission at least 4 times since it's come to Game Pass, but I keep getting interrupted with having to adult.
Yeah.
We played a game which, by all means, was very glitchy, buggy. You told me my character was dancing throughout the entire time we were playing,
which was very funny.
Was your character dancing though?
Yeah. But I'm not sure what dance, because it's been so long. I can't remember how that game. I've completely forgotten. I completed that game this year. I played it start to finish. Yeah, Outriders was an okay game.
It was okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
My top 3 picks of the one to watch were Resident Evil Village, which did come out and I did play. Unfortunately, I didn't finish, so that's going to be in my Christmas break, I think. But by all means, big improvement over Resident Evil 7, where it keeps the first person perspective, which they introduced in that title that wasn't a shooter or a different version of the Resident Evil games they've done in the past.
Good noise, whoever that was.
That was a dong and a half.
Christmas dong.
A Christmas dong.
Standard dong.
The 12 inches of Christmas.
But what
There's your show title.
This is the Resident Evil game that they went, hey, we're going to take a influence from all the different games before, not in the clumsy way they did in 6, I think it was, where they went, this is the horror, this is the action, this is the new version, all that kind of stuff. And they've done it level based, and it worked really, really well. But yeah, I was looking forward to that. It came out. I'm glad it came out. It's a very good game. A game that also came out that I didn't play is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
I hear it's good, though.
I hear it's very good. Tim said it was very good. I think that's going to come up later as well.
Yeah, more for you for not playing it, basically. But yeah.
Yeah, shame on you, Coleman.
Shame. I outright refuse to
do that dong
70...
again, Tim. Do that dong again. Do that dong again. Shame.
See, who needs a soundboard, Coleman,
Shame.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the other
broke.
thing I'm bloody grateful for this festive time, is that Coleman's soundboard stopped working, which means I don't have to listen to myself for half an hour before the show we get round to recording the show. Thank you. Thank you, baby Jesus, or any other deity who may have contributed.
We can just reenact it for you.
Anyway, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. I at the moment am refusing to spend £70 on new release titles.
I mean, I can understand that entirely. Yeah.
If I'm understanding correctly, that might be under my tree for Christmas as well. So I will play it.
Aren't you a lucky little sausage?
Yeah. The other one was Gotham Knights, because out of the 2 Batman tie-in games they announced, there was Gotham Knights and Guardians of the Galaxy, not Guardians of the Galaxy one. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And the Suicide Squad game didn't get a release date, Gotham Knights did, and unfortunately it didn't come out, so I didn't play it. But that might come out this year. It's meant to come out this year. Well, it's meant to come out in 2022.
Yeah.
It looks pretty nailed down for next year, I would have thought.
Yeah. But again, we'll talk about that we'll talk about that in a future show.
Aren't you a tease?
I am. Those are the games that we were looking forward to, the ones to watch in 2021. So let's see how we did. How we stacked up against those and picked our best of 2021. I will say the rules for this year, as we do every year, these are new titles. They are not ports of games from previous years, from previous platforms. They aren't expansions of DLC. Thus why Dan isn't allowed to pick Destiny 2 every year.
Hey!
3 parts of Destiny 2. That would be your vote every year.
Exactly. And also, for the sake of keeping it interesting, we try not to carry over the same game again and again. That's why we're all not picking Forza Horizon 5. So we do it for variety, but we've all picked different titles.
Okay, I was just going to throw in one extra qualifier as well. There is a game that I would have possibly put in here, and I don't want to necessarily discredit the devs, but because of the parent company, I decided to disqualify all Ubisoft games from my list. Likewise, I wouldn't have talked about an Activision Blizzard game. Sort your out, basically. But yeah, anyway. I just decided to,
everyone.
I just decided to rule those out on my list. I don't know. I'm not saying that you guys had to either. I didn't want to influence you guys generally. Yeah, that's one thing that I decided to do just because.
Tim?
Made my life easier on my list anyway.
I can safely say you have never, and you probably never will, influence me.
Good.
Likewise.
Just the way I like it.
The worst cult leader imaginable.
But yeah. So, Dan, you might as well go first again anyway, because yours is the most obvious pick that I think all of us pick as well. So, would have been on my list otherwise.
Throw me under the bus, why don't you? Oh, you're really obvious
The
pick,
obvious pick.
So my one of my favourite games of the year, which is actually at the top of Open Critics 2021 Hall of Fame as we record this, is, surprise, surprise, Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah.
Although I might take some of the shine has been taken off of it because of some of the bugs that there have been, some of the issues with online multiplayer, and the fact that as they have patched it, they've managed to break more things along the way. It remains, however, a fantastic driving game, just insane amounts of fun, actually really quite deep racing under there as well. So many cars to have fun with. They could dial back by about 100% on the voice acting. That would be good.
I told you, play Riders Republic and you will praise the voice acting. You hand them an Oscar.
Yeah. If I hear one more time about Uncle Ramon or whoever it was and his vodka. So anyway, but great game. Shame about the voice acting. Lots of fun to be had. I really, 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 really hope they sort out some of the multiplayer connectivity issues because that has taken the shine off it, and it shouldn't be as difficult to form a convoy with your buddies and drive across Mexico as it is in the game at the moment.
See, we've been sorry to kind of drag this out, but the problems with Forza Horizon 5 on launch, where you couldn't connect to the network and all that stuff and had to play offline, that was working the last time I played, but I haven't played for a couple of weeks because I've been busy with other stuff. So is that persisting again, or is that okay now?
Some of it is still persisting, but there's a problem that was affecting the Series X, where as soon as you try to save the game, it gets stuck in an infinite save loop.
Oh,
okay.
Should have got yourself an S,
PC,
maybe.
It would just randomly crash.
Okay, that was the problem I had, but that was the fix that was run as administrator, even though you are the administrator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a really weird thing. Like, every time I started the game, I got it running really smooth, but it would just randomly crash, and sometimes within a minute or seconds of loading up, and then just went. I looked on a forum and it said, "Oh, they actually Playground say right click start as administrator. That will stop it crashing. Do it, see it to believe it. It bloody worked." Good game though.
Okay.
So that is my first pick of things I don't like.
So. What is your second pick, Dan?
Oh, pick number 2 is a game that's often confused with another game in this particular series. It is Metroid Dread, the most recent installment of the Metroid series on the Switch this time, and has absolutely nothing to do with Metroid Fusion, apart from the fact it stars the same character and has the same gameplay tropes. In fact, it is quite similar, some would argue, therefore, to Metroid Fusion, which this game most certainly isn't. It's Metroid Dread. That's why I call it Metroid Dread. I've never confused these things in the past. Yeah, I mean, it's just a beautifully well-crafted Metroid game. The reason why it probably isn't my top pick of the year is that some of the sequences when you're fighting like the Emmy robots, who are like these AIs that have been sent to murder you to death,
murder bots,
that can feel a bit cheap, the way that they can sometimes instantly dispatch you. But there's so much good stuff here, like the sound design, the environment design is just so spot on. And you know, I'm a real sucker for the Metroid kind of unlock stuff as you get new equipment, track back and see if you can find new secrets. I absolutely love that. And, you know, this is probably the best Metroid to date, I would say.
Yeah.
It's really thoroughly enjoyable.
One thing I wasn't sure about was the whole like time element of things chasing you and whether that would bother me or not. It's one game that I think I could have really enjoyed this year and haven't picked up yet, basically. Might do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, the being kind of hunted is in very prescribed bits. It's not like you are constantly being chased. It's like you go into areas of the map where something is actively trying to find you. So I think if it had been the whole game of evil robots going to get you, it's behind find you. You know, some kind of Metroid Panto probably would have got a bit tiresome. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good game. I mean, I think, like I said, the only slight blemish on it is the fact that the enemy robots themselves, it can cross the line from challenging to feeling occasionally a bit unfair and cheap. But that might be my aging reflexes rather than a fault of the game itself. But no, really enjoyable. If you like kind of games of the Metroidvania genre, you know, this is a Metroid game. You know, it is one half of that portmanteau, and you should get stuck in and enjoy it. Really like it.
And yeah, your last pick, I'm really glad you put on your list, because I nearly put it on mine, but I didn't, because I haven't finished it yet. But that's no disregard to the actual game, because yeah, I'm really glad you picked Unpacking.
I love that we're all enjoying this, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bit. Some may view it as a bit of a left field choice. But one of my most memorable games of the year is Unpacking.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of really, what's the best way to describe it? It's kind of like,
it's relaxing.
It's a very zen
understated
game. It is. You have a load of boxes. You've moved house. You've got a load of boxes. You need to get stuff out the boxes. You've put stuff in weird boxes because, oh my God, the removal men are arriving in 10 minutes. You still haven't put anything in a box. What are you going to do? Just throw it all in there.
Hold on. Sorry. Tim really, he needs to do the line from Seven because he likes doing it.
Oh, what's in the box?
Who, me? What's in
the box?
What's in the box?
It's a GameCube.
Unpacking Gwyneth Paltrow's head was definitely a surprise. That came out of left field. But, you know, I mean, it may be a sign, again, that, you know, perhaps if you're a little bit older, it resonates with you a bit. But kind of like the archaeology of unpacking boxes when you move house. It's like, oh, wow, there's that thing from my previous chapter in my life which triggers all these memories.
Yeah.
And I just really like the way that Unpacking told a story about the person you are in the game and the different life events happening to her. And I just thought it did it in just a really beautifully minimalistic way. And in a year where everything's felt very busy, very stressed, very high, fast-paced, actually having something like Unpacking, which is just a very chilled experience. There's no time limit. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
It is just you exploring your own personal history as the character in the game. I just thought it was a wonderful, wonderful bit of entertainment.
Yeah, I think when we make these lists, it's for us as well, it's become more the standout memories from the year of gaming, basically. The things that you'll remember fondly when you look back in the past. And I think Unpacking does a really good job of striking that chord and just hitting the right notes at the right time as well. Like, it seems like a very, even though it's a reflective thing looking at different eras of the past, it seems like a very timely and very well-timed thing as well, basically.
Yeah, for me, I found, and this was mainly because this was a perfect game to play on the phone with the controller on the, you know, just sat on the sofa playing this, because if there was a lag or a bump in the connection or something like that, it didn't affect the game too much because it's just a simple kind of drag and drop type game. But also it appeals to I'm a bit of a freak about being neat and organizing things, and it's a perfect type of game for me, more so than Tetris. So
wow.
Yeah, very calming. I really like this game.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, great. Just I mean, again, I know it's probably for many people it's kind of not going to be as engaging for them as what they usually look for their video game related escapism, and perhaps it's an age thing, I don't know. But, you know, I just thought it was just a lovely bit of storytelling, and much so I hate this word in the context of games, it was, you know, a really nice experience. I went on, I'm going to use this word as well, I went on a bit of a journey with it, okay? All right, lovely, great.
Emotional roller coaster.
I'm looking forward to how I'm going to represent Unpacking in the cover art for this episode. It's like, how the hell am I going to do this?
Just have it in a box. Everything else in a box. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to put things in different order. If we're doing things in slight order of preference, then
Of course you are.
probably
You
going to
however you
go.
want, both, good friend.
Well, just echoing what Dan did in saying that Horizon was his top pick. I think my top pick's probably going to be Halo Infinite. Basically, I've been playing a bit more since we spoke about it last on the show, and it continues to impress. The boss battles and the way it opens up as you go further into the kind of open world structure as well. Really impressive, really good. Quite like the story interaction between Chief and Weapon and the kind of stuff that's going on there. And yeah, just really enjoyable. It's really nice to have a good, solid Halo game again. I've enjoyed the multiplayer. I want to play more of that, but I'm really enjoying the campaign. I've been kind of overly concentrating on that when I should have possibly been checking out a few other things. Yeah, usually I like to put games on my list that I've completed, but I'm allowing for the fact that this has only just come out this week, in the week that we're recording about this, and I will probably have played this, and I think it will be my game of the year and standout kind of game. Coming a bit late in the year, but also coming to Game Pass as well does help elevate it slightly in terms of, it just... I haven't paid full price to get access to a good multiplayer game and a fantastic version of Halo, basically. So, yeah, really pleased with that, and that definitely, I think, gets to the top of my list, basically.
It kind of shouts volumes of how much we enjoy the game on the show, as we accidentally dedicated an entire episode to it, which, if I remember rightly, we've only done... You
engineered an audio interface malfunction and brought Bleezy in. How is that in any way a surprise use of an entire episode? Yeah. Oh, Bleezy's here. All right, well, that's the next 3 hours gone about Halo.
If I remember rightly, we've only dedicated 3 episodes to a single game, and that is Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5, and Cyberpunk 2077.
So, yeah, that speaks somewhat. We had some things to say about all 3 games. 2 of them were really positive. As I said, yeah, Halo just feels really good again. It feels really good to have a good Halo, and that puts it automatically pretty high, but I think it's a really good game from what I've seen of it, and really enjoyed it so far. So I think that's going to be my game of the year type thing. I will qualify the rest of my list with the fact that I think both of them would have been relegated from my list if it wasn't for the fact that we're going for variety, because I would have chosen Forza Horizon 5, as we already said, probably amongst both of them, and I would have also chosen one of Coleman's as well. But that said, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which Coleman was really looking forward to and never played. But yeah, I really enjoyed that game. It's not only was it fun, and the reason why I put it on this list, as we said about making memories as well, that to me is the game that I've seen that has been released that has proven what next-gen technology can do over and above what we were capable of in the last gen, basically. And I think that's one of the reasons I was prepared to pick it up. I don't think I paid quite full price, but near full price. On release to give it a go, and yeah, didn't regret it. I've played bits of Ratchet and Clank games before, but I've never really played one start to finish, and this was one that I played start to finish and would like to play more of. I think I've lent it to someone and haven't got it back yet, but at some point I'm going to play some more. Just because, you get to upgrade the weapons to a ridiculous level, and then they all do something slightly better when you get them to their maximum levels and stuff. And yeah, just a really fun shooting game. A bit kid friendly, but yeah, as I said, it was a good game from a gameplay perspective. Story was a bit, kind of by the numbers, sort of, but kind of well presented and well done. But the major sticking point for me was the actual stuff that you saw with the different rifts and going through different universes and all that type of stuff that I don't think would have been possible in previous generations, and just help show off the system a bit. So yeah, that was not just good for that game, but got me excited for the possibility of what other developers can do with that in the future as well. So yeah,
I was going to say, I think it's a really interesting example of how a lot of the innovation this generation of consoles has brought in isn't just about, although the graphical uplift is quite considerable and much smoother than the previous generation. It's actually all of the kind of slightly subtler hardware improvements, like positional, spatial audio, enhanced streaming of in-game assets, because you get the Super Dexy Drive in there.
Ray tracing!
And ray tracing, which has not yet really... I still think we haven't seen much adoption of that, but that's because it's, I think, such a new technology and is so expensive from a GPU point of view. But, I mean, stuff like a lot of what makes, from what I know, not that I have a PS5, but makes Ratchet and Clank so incredible is just this fast switching between environments that you just wouldn't have been able to do previously.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to playing this game. I know I didn't pick it up, but that's, again, it's kind of a stand on, everyone's got to take their stand on something. Mine is paying £70 for video games. It just seems mad to me still to this day, when there's so many games that come out for as close to that price and then charge for microtransactions and stuff. So I think you could charge less for this game. Anyway, I wanted to know specifically, Tim, do you think the wind's kind of been knocked out of its sails since a couple of developers have got together and gone, by the way, this stuff that they've touted can only work on the PS5, could work on the PS4. There's no reason for this to be an exclusive to this console.
I don't know how, for me, a lot of that game was showing off a lot of the visual showcase, and some of the Portal stuff and the in-game stuff that you saw from, that you could do in the environments in level to level, I think you probably could have done on the PS4. I'm not so sure you could have done some of the stuff, the set piece type stuff on the PS4 as well and as smoothly as it's presented on the PS5. I don't know the technical limitations of it entirely, but I would be very surprised if you could have exactly the same game running on PS4. But
no, that's fair. I think more along the terms of how Miles Morales is on the PS4 to the PS5. It's buttery smooth on the PS5, but then if you enjoy playing Spider-Man on the PS4, it's just that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I was late to Ratchet and Clank. I got into it in the PS3 games, and then worked my way backwards, and then went for the reboot. And the reboot was really good on PS4, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I might go back and actually play that as well. But and my last pick, we mentioned it earlier in the show, and as I said, it might not have made it through other things, and I disqualified some other games that I've enjoyed and were good this year, but I just haven't played enough of. I'd like to have possibly put Sable on this list, but I'm going to play more of that over Christmas, possibly. But Outriders was my third pick, generally. And we mentioned earlier in the show...
Controversial?
Just when there wasn't really much coming out at the time, I'm glad that I got to play it on Game Pass, because otherwise I would have probably stumped up the cash to play it. And I thought, overall, with the games that you guys have already picked as well, I think it's a fair reflection this year that I'm choosing one big flashy PS5 game and two games that I had access to through Games Pass. And I think that kind of sums up my year reasonably well. Usually I'd get a Switch game somewhere in there as well, but I just haven't played my Switch quite as much lately. I think that's because there's been good distractions, and the availability of games and the plethora of games coming through Games Pass is one of the reasons for that. Outriders I did enjoy. I actually played it start to finish, which is the other one of the reasons that, it qualified for my list. And yeah, I would have liked to have played a bit more of the endgame content and had more people to play that with, but that's not so much a fault of the game as me not seeking out people to do that with a bit more, kind of, possibly, or be prepared to do it with randoms. Otherwise, as I said, I enjoyed that game. It kind of, I was interested to see where it would go, and I think it did some interesting things that I enjoyed and will be memorable from, going forward as well. So yeah, I enjoyed the game. It's still on Game Pass, I believe, and it's just had a big expansion. I haven't really gone back and had a look. I might do so over the Christmas period. But yeah, I recommend going and trying it out if you haven't done already. It's a good, fun, Gears of War type shooter type thing, basically cover shooter. But yeah, with class-based stuff going on as well, and some interesting powers that go along with it. So yeah, give it a go if you haven't done so already, basically.
Yeah, basically from the developers of that was Gears of War Judgment. People Can Fly did.
People Can Fly.
Before that, they did
Bulletstorm, didn't they?
Bulletstorm, yeah.
Which I really like as a game. So yeah.
It's funny to me because Gears of War Judgment, when that came out, a lot of people kind of complained that it it's basically Gears of War, but it's slightly different. It doesn't feel like Gears of War, and that's kind of how Outriders felt to me. It's like, I'm playing a Gears of War game, but it's not right. Something's very wrong about this game. And then I went through it, following this, and I think the story's terrible, but followed through it going, right, once the story's over, people tell me that the end game's going to be brilliant. I'm going to enjoy the end game. And then I got to the end game and went, this is worse than the single player game. So I didn't.
Although they
have
they have just released and they have just given the end game a massive overhaul as it landed on
I've
Game
seen that.
Pass.
I might have to, and especially now the whole streaming on console thing is up and running. I might have to jump back in to do that now. You don't have to wait for an install, but yeah, I'll give it another try at some point, but I just got so knocked off with the end game content that I just didn't want to carry on with it. My 3 picks.
Go on,
do you know what? I'm gonna do a slightly different order like everyone else is doing. I'm not gonna go with my top one. I'm gonna pick the one that. So this is a game that when I played it at the time and spoke about it on the show, I believe I said, do you know what? This could be a game of the year contender for me. And it is a game that I only played because of Game Pass, and that's Narita Boy.
I still need to go and play this.
Yeah, if you don't remember me talking about it on the show, it's kind of a semi-platformer brawler type adventure game. It's all done in 2D pixel art using this crazy neon retro style looking game and bloom lighting and things. But so it's using a retro aesthetic with modern day technologies, and I love when games do that. See, like,
it's more new age fun with a vintage feel.
Vintage feel, our favourite. But this game, it's you're a character that gets sucked into an 80s video game, and there's a story that unfolds the more you play it. Listen to our previous episode where I was talking about it before to get more on that story. It's a really, really well-crafted game. What I find with a lot of retro-type games on modern-day consoles is that the modern-day controllers don't quite mesh with the way these games play, and this one did really, really well and kept me very, very engaged in this game. And it was just a big surprise to me. I was just looking for stuff to talk about on the show, spotted that in the new releases on Game Pass, and went, yeah, sure, I'll install that. And if it wasn't on Game Pass, I wouldn't have played this game, and I wouldn't have known how cool it is, because it is a really, really good game. It's one of those kind of slow burn, when you could install that, gamble on it on Game Pass and go, yeah, I'm not sure about this, and uninstall it and leave it. But if you stick with it through the first, say, hour of the game, it really opens up, and it is a very cool game, just oozing with style, worth playing for anyone. I recommend. Mm-hmm. And also, because it's a smaller indie title, cheaper on other platforms, so pick it up wherever you can, I reckon.
Right.
My other one, which me and Dan both played and spoke about, Deathloop. This is out of left field for me, because there was a couple of games that I've swapped this out from and for and keep changing my mind on, but Deathloop is the one that's kind of piqued my interest the most, and it was a game I was going to wait on because, as we know, in 2022 this will be an Xbox Game Pass release at some point, so I thought I'd wait for that point. But everyone went mad about Deathloop on release, and I had to pick it up, and I did, and it's a very, very good game. If you don't know, you play a character who it's kind of like a roguelite where you're going through and in a first-person shooter type game, unlocking powers that then reset every time you die, but then you can find out ways of keeping certain powers and upgrades and things on each loop. Also, the other kind of caveat to that is while you're playing through this game, there could be either an AI or another player character jumping into your game and trying to assassinate you as you're playing through, which can be hell. And I instantly turned the cross-play off, because when you see just mad lads playing on mouse and keyboard with the aiming going all over the place, I can't deal with these people. I need to limit this to controllers. So turn the cross-play straight off. But a very, very enjoyable game. And I think there is an option now to say, hey, I don't want people invading my game. I'll just have the AI if it bothers you that much. If not, just turn your internet off, I guess.
Turn that internet off.
Yes, Deathloop, really, really good game. Again, it is coming to Game Pass some point in 2022, so you can either, whatever the Deathloop release date was, I think it's literally a year from that point. That's when it comes to Xbox. So you can get it that way, but if you've only got the option of PC or PS5, then I would suggest picking this game up. Find it on it'll be cheaper than it was on release now, But really, really good game. Excellent aesthetic, excellent style. Just go get it. Really, really fun.
Yeah.
And then also talking of aesthetic and style and just fun, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy from Squeenix. Another Squeenix Marvel title that I've really enjoyed. However, this one did make it to my Game of the Years.
Yeah, I have to. I am saving this as a bit of a Christmas treat for myself.
It's
because
really
it does
good.
look hella fun.
I have been really enjoying it. It would definitely have been on my list as well. I think as well. Just the interactions between characters and them chatting and the banter between them is just really good. Basically,
the bants.
Yeah.
In the same kind of way that I won't go into the game too much because we did a show on this and I did go really into depth on my thoughts on Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, but it is a very, very good game. I really enjoyed completing it. I'm going to go back in for the platinum because it's just that much fun that I need an excuse to go back in and play it, and I will totally do that. I'm happy with. But in the same way, when I picked the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, it's that thing of it's a license that I know and I understand, but also it's done in a single player, heavy story focused kind of way that really excites me and captivates me. And I just really, really enjoyed Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Again, aesthetic, style, oozing charisma, just brilliant. Go put this one on your list, pick it up. It is super good.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is
Sounds
Also,
pretty good
Rick
to me,
Astley.
man.
occasionally fiddly controls with teammates and stuff, but that aside, it's a really enjoyable, really, really fun game. I've set aside when I'm playing a bit of Halo Infinite, which is just testing me to how much I'm liking that. But Guardians could easily have been on my list of 3, especially if I hadn't picked it up late as well, basically. But yeah, I'm glad it got on our list of 9 between us, basically.
Good.
Would you say that overall, between the 3 of us, if we were voting, Forza Horizon 5 is probably our game of the year?
Yeah, I would.
Collectively between the 3 of us. That's what it feels like to me, basically. Like, each one of us would have probably had that in our list had Dan not picked it straight away, sort of thing, no? And I think
shall throw me under the bus. Fine, be like that.
I don't know if it. Tell me I'm wrong. But...
Me having a good idea. Fine. Fine.
In terms of one that we all would have picked, I would say yes, Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo?
What? As I'm talking. Sorry. Horizon. No.
Forza Horizon 5.
There we go.
Would have been the one that we all picked. So yes, that could be considered game of the year overall. But at the same time, I would not have put that on my top games of the year.
Right.
I probably would have given that to Narita Boy if I was to pick one out of the 3.
Okay.
But,
anyway, yeah, it's a good set of games. And as I said at the start of the show as well, I think it's been a slightly lackluster year for games in terms of a few big hitters getting delayed. But that just means we've got a fantastic 2022 to look forward to. So, hey, that's a good thing.
Unless this all keeps happening. We're stuck in a spiral and we can't get out.
Yep. Groundhog Day shall continue for another year.
We literally called our last Christmas episode the best of a bad bunch.
This is, more from said bunch, I think, more than anything else.
Yeah, but there's been some good games like this year. Like there has been some nice highlights. It was a bit slow towards the beginning of the year, but yeah, and Game Pass has been a nice distraction, and games in general have been a nice distraction from a lot of the rest of the year as well. So. Yeah, it's hopefully been a good year for video games in terms of the platform holders and selling video games.
I mean, it would just be nice to be able to actually get some of the stuff that we're going to talk about in a show to come. I still feel that what's actually kind of put a spanner in the works is actually enough consoles of the new generation of consoles getting out there due to the continuing supply problems that there are.
Yep.
And obviously the pretty profound effect that COVID has had on us all, and also had on the well-being and resilience of the hard-working staff at games companies who craft these wonderful things that we spend our free time enjoying. And I think always remember the humans at the other side of this. Yeah, it sucks that a game might be a bit delayed, but if that means that the people developing it can come out the other side happier, healthier, great. I'm all for that.
Need to be concentrating on that a little bit more these days. Yeah.
Games are good. Play more games.
Yes, and I hope everyone gets a nice game under the Christmas tree. Did they like?
Yes. Apart from Bobby Kotick, he can knob off.
Yeah. He gets coal this year. Not
no
Coleman.
one gift him games. He can buy his own. He's getting enough money.
And I'm fairly sure he's on the naughty list as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although he might like that, the dirty.
That's a horrible
I'm
understatement.
On the naughty
He's
list.
on the naughty list.
Oh. Tell me more. Anyway. No, let's not. So there we go. So that's our review of the year that was. And we'll be back fairly soon to talk about the year that is going to be. So it's probably the last time you'll hear us before Christmas. So from all of us, from myself, the bloke who calls himself Tim, and the bloke who calls himself Coleman, have a lovely holiday season, one and all, of whichever variety suits you best. You know, say hello to friends, say hello to family, enjoy some time where hopefully at least you get a couple of days off just to chill and have a bit of a reset. So have a wonderful time, everybody. So I think all that's really left is to remind you all that I have been Dan.
I might have been Tim.
I've been Coleman.
3 out of 3. Congratulations, chaps. So speak to you on the other side of Christmas, and keep well. And until next time, dear listeners, toodle bye.
Are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.
Hosted by Zer, a.k.a.
Des.
Squidface,
Your
and
favourite?
his majestic paracausal horse,
Hold
a.k.a.
on.
Space
Des.
Horse.
Is it Squid Face Games? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, possibly. Good. Well done.